Nelson Agholor. Nelson Agholor. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. I'm not surprised in the slightest. This is such a Ravens move. This is just what they do. They go out and they get these bargain bin receivers. They get these receivers from the 99-cent store. That's what they do. They don't get top quality receivers. They just pick up the cheapest option they can get. That's the Ravens way. That's the Ravens motto. That's just what they do. Okay, so I'm not surprised to see this happen. In fact, I expected this to happen. The minute I heard Nelson Agholor was available, I knew the Ravens were probably going to be in on getting that guy because that's such a Ravens move. Well, I'll say this. He'll definitely fit in with the receiving room because he'll drop passes just like our other receivers. So, I mean, he'll fit right in Baltimore. Honestly, I'm not mad at the move. I'm not angry. I'm not filled with rage. I'm not even shocked. This is well within my expectations. You guys continue to assume the Ravens are going to get D-Hop or the Ravens are going to get OBJ. You guys keep building yourselves up with this hope. I see it all the time on Twitter. You got these Ravens fans on these accounts that are just hyping it up and just begging and praying that Odell or DeAndre Hopkins ends up being a Raven. They got both Odell and DeAndre Hopkins wearing Raven shirts because they do the Photoshop there. You got them praying. You got them offering whatever they can offer. You got them putting these tweets out saying, "Man, DeAndre Hopkins, you're a Raven. You're gonna be here soon." They do that all the time, and I just watch this and I'm just like, well, if this is how you have to accept or cope with the fact that this isn't happening, by all means. If you have to build yourself up knowing you're going to be disappointed, by all means, feel free to do so. And I don't blame these fans for doing it because, again, they want what's best for the team. They want to see weapons come to Baltimore. They want quality receivers for the Ravens, but the Ravens just don't seem to be looking to do that. And again, you can sit back and say, well, they're in the conversation. They have shown an interest in getting Odell. They have shown an interest in getting DeAndre. Let me tell you this right now. Whenever we hear that the Ravens are interested in getting somebody or they have an interest in a player, especially an offensive player, 9 times out of 10, they don't get that player. They don't. They'll be in the race. They'll be interested, but another team will come in, swoop in, just take that player, and that's just it. I can tell you right now, DeAndre Hopkins is not going to be a Raven. He's not. There are other teams that are in on him. He's just not going to be a Raven. I can put it right there. He's not going to be a Raven. No matter what package the Ravens offer, he's not going to be a Raven because I guarantee you it's not going to be enough. There'll be another team that's going to offer more for DeAndre Hopkins, and the Ravens, they don't like giving up draft picks. That's the number one thing. They love their picks, and they love picking up cheap available players. That's what they do. They're not offering a bunch of picks for DeAndre Hopkins. It's not happening. Okay, if they're going to get DeAndre Hopkins, it has to be on a steal. And they're not going to get D-Hop on a steal, so they're just not going to get him at all. As for Odell, I don't see them paying him the money he would want. Now, of course, Odell came out and said, I don't want $20 million, but, I mean, you got to offer me more than $4 million. Yeah, I don't see the Ravens coughing up a huge chunk of money on a multi-year deal for Odell. So you could put those two to bed. That's just not happening. Nelson Agholor is probably the best we're going to get. Maybe they try to sign another bargain bin receiver on a minimum deal because this one was a 1-year, $6.25 million deal here with Nelson Agholor. Doubt this is going to actually work out. But hey, we'll see. I mean, you never know what can happen. But yeah, they'll probably go and get another bargain bin receiver, and then they'll look to draft receivers in the draft because that's pretty much all we do here in Baltimore. We don't really invest in the receiving core. At least in terms of free agency, we don't go out and get top-tier quality receivers. We'll pick up bargain bin receivers and just hope for the best. That's kind of just what we do in Baltimore. So I'm not surprised. Nelson Agholor to the Ravens is such a Ravens move. It fits well into what they do, and that's kind of just how things are. And for the fans that are disappointed, the fans that are frustrated, I don't know what to tell you. The Ravens have always been like this. When's the last time they've actually traded for a receiver? I believe, what was it? Lee Evans might be the last one I remember them trading for a receiver. It's been a long time since they've actually traded for a receiver. Like, they don't trade for receivers. They don't. And they don't sign receivers to these huge contracts. They don't go out and do that. So I don't see how D-Hop's going to end up being a Raven. I don't see how Odell's going to be a Raven. You're going to get Nelson Agholor. enjoy it. Just hope that whatever receiver they draft this year, hope that he's actually a good one and he works out. That's all you can do at this point as a fan. Just pray, because there's nothing else really to look at here, guys. I'm sorry to say, but there's nothing there's nothing to really get mad about. This is just what they've done. I get it. As a fan, you want to see your team bring in the top quality weapons, and obviously bringing in D-Hop would be such a huge aspect to our receiving core, but it's just not going to happen. That's not the Ravens' way. They've never operated like that. They never moved like that. They've never gotten top-tier receivers. So that's not going to change anytime soon. Just because Eric DeCosta spoke about how they were going to rework the receiving core does not mean it was going to be piled up with top-tier talent. That was not going to be the case. Get some bargain bin receivers and see how it goes. Now, when it comes to Nelson Agholor, he's an interesting pickup here for the most part. Man, I don't know how much I could really say about Nelson Agholor. I mean, his resume is out there. One of the biggest issues with this guy is his ability to catch the football, because he's constantly dropping passes. So, like, I'm trying to think of something positive here. Well, he usually stays healthy. He's relatively healthy and available, if there's anything. He could be productive. I mean, he's not coming to Baltimore to be the number one receiver. So, I mean, if you put him as the third or your fourth receiver, he could be somewhat productive and probably have a game or two where he shines. Yeah, there's not really much to say. We all remember his time in Philly. He couldn't catch a cold. Like, I'm really trying to be objective here. And I'm trying to give as many positive outlooks as I can with Nelson Agholor, but there's not a lot of positive outlooks to kind of look up here. All I can really say is that he'll be productive here. That doesn't mean you're going to get a lot of production out of him, but he'll be productive. He'll fit right in with our receiving core because he'll be dropping passes just like they drop passes. Nothing really changes. Nelson Agholor is not going to change life in Baltimore. Let's just put it out there. As real as I can be, Nelson Agholor is not going to change life for that receiving room in Baltimore. We understand that. It is what it is. But he could be productive, and that's really all you can ask for at this point. Just a receiver that's going to be productive. How productive is he going to be? Honestly, I don't know. I honestly could not tell you. I just don't know. This deal here, I don't know what to say about it. I can't sit back and say, oh, that was a great pickup or that was an awful pickup. It's just a Ravens-type move. It's a Ravens-type move. So Nelson Agholor is going to come here and attempt to be productive. I mean, I just don't know what to tell you guys. I'm serious. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, this is the best we're going to get. If you think they're going to go out and get DeAndre Hopkins or they're going to pick up Odell, I don't see that happening. It hasn't ever been their MO. They've never operated like that. Paying a lot of money for a big-time receiver or trading away a lot of draft capital, these picks that they love, that they're obsessed with, trading that away to get a top-tier receiver, they've never been that type of team. They'll always be interested in it, but they're always trying to finesse teams. And when you're trying to, it works when you're able to get a circumstance where they got to get rid of that player, where they don't have the money to pay him, or they're trying to move on, or it's a situation where that player is kind of having a down year and he hasn't played like himself, so you have an opportunity to pick him up and see if you can bring him here and revive him. So we've seen situations like that for the Ravens where they've taken advantage of that, but you're not going to be able to finesse teams on a top-tier receiver. It's not going to happen. And D-Hop, when he's healthy, is one of the best receivers in the game. So I don't see the Ravens picking up D-Hop. And again, I don't see them paying a lot of money to Odell to bring him to Baltimore. So, yeah, Nelson Agholor is probably going to be the best you're going to get. Maybe they go get another bargain bin receiver, and then they draft a receiver and see what they can do with that. That kind of, I guess, technically changes up the receiving room. Because, again, right now you have Rashad Bateman, again, who should be ready to go by the regular season. You're going to have Devin Duvernay there. You have James Prochet that's still on the team somehow. Not much really to look at. You're looking at a bunch of practice squad guys after that. I mean, Tylan Wallace is still on the team, but, I mean, he's never done anything, really. This receiving core it's a problem. It really is a problem, and I don't see it changing for the best. All I can do is hope and pray that you get productive receivers that can come out here and be productive. They don't got to be top tier. Just go out here and produce. That's all you can hope for. They stay healthy and they produce. Nelson Agholor, he's someone that's been relatively healthy throughout his career in most cases. So, he'll be on the field playing. Just hope you can get some production out of him. That's all I can say. Anyway, guys, I don't really have much to say about this. I mean, I saw this and I'm just like, well, that just happened for the Ravens. They finally signed somebody. Way to make a move in free agency. They finally signed somebody. And it's Nelson freaking Agholor. Fantastic. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. God, man, this team. Oh, boy, this team. We'll see what happens. Nelson Agholor, welcome to Baltimore. Hopefully you can be more productive than some of the receivers we brought here in previous years. We can only hope for the best. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. And with that being said, that is all I've got. And I'm out of here. Peace.